Welcome back, Tribe. I have one here from Man Guide. Let's get into it.
I don't know what's happened over the last couple of generations, but men don't help women. They don't offer to hold doors and things of that nature. And part of that obviously is because radical feminists, have said, if you hold the door for me, you're implying that I'm weak. So it's not like it's just the fault of men.
Do you ever fear about like looking like a Karen, or do you think you ever overreact?
I literally wear a shirt that says Proud Karen to the airport.
Really?
I sell them.
Oh, so you go in there ready to battle.
I let people know, like it's not.
And think about when you go to a bar, who's supposed to buy women drinks? Men are. Do you see that as often as like years and years ago? All costs.
I get all that, man. I have to protect
Even
that,
when
blah,
girls
blah,
are
blah.
fighting with each other, like it is so ugly. It is the ugliest thing that there is men around and they're not doing anything.
But why do you think men don't do that anymore? Because they used to do that before. But why do you think they don't do that anymore? They stopped doing that.
Why do you think you're a man? You tell me.
First of all, good question. The reason I think, men, we don't do it anymore because you guys don't respect us anymore.
Okay.
Second, you guys don't need us anymore. I don't need a man. I'm a strong woman, independent. You're the independent, you're strong. What do you need me for? What do you complain to me not protecting when you already have everything that you want? I'm a What do you need me for?
Okay, so buying women drinks is chivalry, apparently. I always find it amusing how women will twist the definitions of words to suit their own desires and preferences. Is it any wonder that men aren't helping women anymore? For too long, men have been getting beaten over the head with feminist rhetoric telling them that any notions of traditional masculinity are ridiculous and that women don't need protecting. These days, if you even suggest that a woman might need your protection in some situations, you'll be accused of being a toxic masculine misogynist. We're constantly reminded that women aren't these dainty little creatures who need our help.
We really have a whole era of men that don't want to protect and provide. These men want women to go to work, come home, cook, clean up, tend to the kids, and pay half the bills while they just go to work and come home. As a man, you should be pouring into your woman, but instead you got her running on empty. A woman was never built to handle all those.
Oh, the Mick Simpy over here is just trying to win points. I think I remember a few of this guy's cringe TikToks. These guys are always angling for the leftover single mothers. It's such a joke. This is why I tell you guys the most dangerous part of all of this social programming isn't even women, dude. It's men. It's men that enable it, men that enforce it, and men that propagate this kind of thinking. There's just too many, quote, nice guys, too many simps, too many allies. And these are the guys that are gassing up the chicks in their DMs, telling them they deserve more, is the emotional tampon that's hanging around, hoping to get laid. And it's this mass of men. This is probably the highest portion of growth amongst all men are these weak, pathetic soys. That's why society's headed in the direction it's heading. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. Weak men create hard times. It's very simple.
Those responsibilities, and a real man would never put her in a position
Real
to
man.
do so. He would take a lot of that weight off her shoulders, especially financially. He wants to protect you in all aspects of your life because he knows how powerful a woman is when she's not forced to be in her masculine energy. A real man makes a woman's life easier so that she can flourish and be that loving, caring, nurturing queen that she is.
I bet his comment section is full of single mothers. Some people are saying that men are failing because they won't help women. How can people honestly believe that? Society has been waging a war against men for decades, and this is the result. You can't expect to demonize an entire gender and then expect them to help you when you need it. Feminism had the opportunity decades ago to help create a cooperative climate between men and women. But instead, it chose to perpetuate the gender war, and society suffered for it. Instead of encouraging masculinity and reminding young men that being a competent and capable person is something the world needs, this society driven by feminism has done the opposite. It's told young men that their masculinity is something that needs to be repressed. And this is exactly what men did. How can you expect them to do anything else? Ladies, this is exactly what you asked for, isn't it?
And you know what's sad about these soft boys? They haven't done a hard thing in their life. They haven't been on a roof. They haven't poured cement. They haven't drilled into a 2x4. They haven't messed with plaster. They haven't laid a foundation, a brick, or any resin. Have not done a single hard day's labor. And they're over here talking about the dynamics of masculinity and femininity. The type of dude that would drown when it rains. Such a joke. And you have to be careful with these soft boys, and especially in the red pill space these days, because a lot of these guys have never built, created, or started anything difficult in their entire lives. I have this picture that I always look back and remind myself of everything I've gone through, but this is my hand when I was working 15 hours a day on the wall when I had my remodeling and construction business from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Over here, we were working on a hotel, cleared $15,000 in 3 days, breaking my back, and then did over $100,000 in the month. And it says at the end here, dreaming of retirement soon. And this was, I believe, at 27 years old, grinding nonstop. No idea what a weekend was. Every single day was work. Sacrificed a lot. And I can say that finally, this year, or I should say December of last year, a few months ago, I finally retired my parents. My old man doesn't have to work another day in his life. And that's one of the major life goals I've checked off that a lot of men want to check off. But it's laughable that these soft-ass dudes, just because he's got some terrible tats on his arm, talking about how to empower a woman through your masculine energy. And yet these are the guys that women constantly complain about today, that they're too damn soft, they don't make decisions, they can't lead, they're not capable, can't be trusted. Like all the negative aspects that women talk about, these types of men are embodying it. And it's snake oil salesman shit, because what he's telling you to do or how to go about it, he himself doesn't even know. It has no value. Women don't respect it. Actual men don't respect it. And it's easy to just repeat some shit you've heard from everybody else. But where are the receipts? What have you done in life? Have you led a team of men older than you? Have you sold millions of dollars worth of God knows what? Have you started a company? Have you worked your way up in a corporation? Are you now leading? Are you a management role? Have you gone to school and graduated with some professional degree? Do you run your own firm? Have you escaped financially? Have you taken care of your own family? Some basic questions here. I don't know. I get recommended a bunch of channels by you guys, and I'm seeing, the stuff that I'm choosing not to cover, but some of the stuff you guys are recommending me, it's like, dude, making you want to roll your eyes. Like you guys are taking advice from a dude that's like 24 years old, doesn't even know who he is, let alone have any experience with women. Any decent, mature woman is enthralled in hookup culture, works an hourly wage with very little experience or investment in himself, dealing out information as if he's some arbiter of truth on the subject matter. It's mind-blowing. It's blind leading the blind. Unfortunately, really, we're suffering from the same thing they are on the other side. You know how those women are giving advice to other women? That's absolutely terrible. That's absolutely keeping them single. There are dudes in this space that are giving men advice, like the advice he gave, are giving men the same styled advice for men that are keeping men single, that are keeping men bitter and angry and upset at the other gender. Be very careful, man. As much as they're being drilled with propaganda on the other side, so are we. Always think for yourself. Question my content, question every single person's content you ever watch. Double check facts, do your due diligence, and take little nuggets of wisdom and implement them in your life in your way. Don't just take anybody's BS on here at face value. You're going to be manipulated that way.
Have you ever seen those videos? And I'm going to speak to New York City. I come from New York City. Have you ever seen those videos that pop up from the subway where you'll see a woman being harassed on the subway by I don't know who, and there's a bunch of guys just sitting there watching and they don't do anything about it? Yeah. What do you think is causing that trend, particularly in cities like New York City? And
liberal policies and social policies that are liberal in general. We demonize men. We neglect men's issues. The messaging is, I'm strong and independent. I don't need no man. I'm my own boss, babe. Don't help me. Don't hold the door open for me. Ew, creep. All that coupled with the fact that we've seen multiple times now in the news what happens when a good Samaritan steps up and he stops something from happening. He gets lambasted in the media, get called a racist, get called an oppressor. Maybe something as benign as he went a little too hard on the perpetrator, as if you're supposed to treat these people with kid gloves. It's not in your interest as a man anymore to step in and save somebody, because it will bring you undue pain and stress in your own life today. That is why we do not reward good citizenship. We do not reward being a good citizen. You get rewarded for being a criminal today. And that's the unfortunate truth. Go steal a gang of shit off the store shelves. Cool, bro. You could walk out with a handful of shit in front of a police car. No one's going to do anything. You go a little too rough beating a perpetrator, trying to put his hands on a woman or an elderly man or elderly woman or something like that. You step into something that's not your business. All of a sudden, you get lambasted on the media, your face plastered everywhere, character assassinated, and good luck having a normal life after that. It's not worth it. Do not stick your nose in anybody else's business. That's apparently the way they want society. And then they are wondering why it crumbles. Oh, of course.
Los Angeles among men.
I think this whole teaching boys that they're equal to women and women that they're equal to boys doesn't help. I think that men, by and large, and this, if any man hears this and isn't just upset, I don't know what you are then, because men are just weaker than we were before. Statistically speaking, when it comes to sperm count is down in men 60%. When it comes to testosterone, me as a 27-year-old man, I'm gonna have 36% less testosterone than a man in 1980. What is it, 1989?
Why?
So
that?
men have
Why?
been, because they're putting plastic in the ranch. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, like we're eating fast
He's
food.
not wrong.
We're overly stressed. This is true.
Women used to have countless privileges, but they screwed it up for themselves.
Watch me get stuck in the leg press. Looks around for help. Don't freak out. Come on, calves. Spot's a nice man.
Can you help me? Yeah. I just fall enough to like it. You want me to get it? Yep, no problem. It's like that 1 inch. Yeah. I heard it.
Oh. Help me. Help. Can anybody help? What do you think's going to happen? You have a tripod set up with the camera recording you. No man wants to step into your shot, especially all this stuff going viral about Farrell. Oh my God. Stop looking at me, you pig. This is what's happening. Look, can't trust nobody. She says, excuse me. Oh my goodness. No. Sis, your tripod's up, camera recording. I'm not ending up on TikTok going viral because you want to act like you're being ogled by men. Please.
No, but it's just like hey.
Hey. Help.
You think you can help me out over here? Yeah.
It's another woman.
Oh, thank you so much.
Good, sis.
In the past, it was perfectly normal and risk-free to help a woman in the gym if you saw her in danger.
Yeah, not anymore, my friend. Everybody's chasing clout today, looking to get famous on the internet at the expense of others. So now you got everybody looking at each other like, who's trying to come up off me? It's unfortunate. And now we got, let's see what the comments say. All joking aside, fact is we live in a society where the good guy can be penalized more heavily than bad guys. Facts. Women say they don't need men. By not helping them, I'm respecting their wishes. It's also a fact. As a man who supports equity and equal rights, I'm as equally appalled that no women stood up to help her. I don't know how true this is, but this guy says true story, and I wouldn't put it past this being real given how insane our society is today. A woman dived off a swim platform and knocked herself out underwater. A man rescued her and gave her CPR to save her life. She had him arrested for assault because he repeatedly touched her breasts, Nuff said. This guy says the gym should not allow them to record themselves. I'm all for male and female gyms being split. I'm so sick of it. They waste the space that they're in almost all the time. Very few of them actually train hard and is like respectable watching them lift some, heavy weight for their body. The rest are doing the cardio bunny crap with the scrunched up ass pants, wasting space, taking selfies, texting all the time. It's really annoying. For the real ones that get out there and put in work, by all means, but it's such a small percentage. We really should have separate spaces. I'm all for it. Yeah, This adversarial attitude is going to keep increasing in the West, man, especially with elections around the corner, especially with social media just highlighting these issues and the algorithms getting smarter and smarter about pulling on your emotional heartstrings and getting you invested in the content, which is always negative. This division's going to keep getting sewed further and further apart. I don't know how far, but I can tell you right now, being in other parts of the world, when you go traveling overseas, the adversarial, confrontational nature of men and women is non-existent. You're welcomed with open arms. People smile. They generally want to hold a conversation with you. It's not seen as negative like it is in the West, where people are about their day, just getting on, short talking you in conversation, like, yeah, okay, yeah, sure, yeah. Generally trying to avoid you, looking at you, mean mugging, and just seeing you as the enemy in general for absolutely no reason. It's a complete stranger, but they're being programmed, socially conditioned to look at you in such a manner. It's very refreshing, man, to be overseas. Like, just got out of an elevator coming in here to shoot, and there was, I think she was Russian by her accent, very slim, beautiful looking woman. I'm just sitting there with my face in the phone. She enters and she goes, because she sees me, I'm dressed, I have shorts on that I look like I'm about to go to the gym, because I am. And she goes with very nice feminine energy and a big smile, hello, how are you? And just starts up a conversation. I just respond back with something very simple. I'm doing well, how are you? And then the conversation goes, she just starts asking me random stuff. Oh, are you going to the gym? Like, she's taking the conversation further. And I tell her, yeah, I got some work to do on the computer. I'm going to go to the gym and maybe enjoy a little bit of tanning on the rooftop pool. And she goes, yeah, the rooftop pool is amazing. The view is crazy. And I go, I know. That's why I picked this hotel. And she keeps talking in the elevator. Do you live here? How long have you been in Dubai for? Just carrying a conversation, but very welcoming, open. I never experienced that in the United States. People are just kind of like hi bye, or just enter in the elevator and they're just like, everybody's like a default, dude, on their phones by default to just avoid eye contact, avoid the other person's like presence around them. It's gross, dude. Once you go overseas and you see how welcoming people are, how normal they are, how grounded they are, you're never going to want to come back. And just notice, if it sounds too good to be true, notice this. Why is it that a overwhelming majority of these videos are of Westerners? You ever notice this stuff happening in other cultures? You ever notice videos of foreign women doing stuff like this? Probably very few and far in between. I mean, the only stuff that I've noticed online, to be honest, is like the gold digger memes of Russian women or Eastern Europeans in general. How they're super obsessed with money and how much their husband earns. So, to the point of like memeing about it. That's really all I've seen. But this type of you are the enemy and my oppressor mentality doesn't exist anywhere else but in the West. So I tell you guys, get that passport, go traveling, just see it for yourself, man. Don't believe me. Go look with your own eyes and see how welcoming people are, how different cultures are, food, weather, way of living, lifestyles. And assess for yourself if it's worth moving there or not, or just to see the difference in general. And you can come back home in the Western country that you live in and understand that it's not an ideal place to be dating, to be getting married, to have any long-term relationship, unless you like the needle in the haystack odds of searching in the gutter for one decent one, a diamond in the rough. That's on you. But I think it'll be a far more motivating factor that will get you up off your ass to take this stuff seriously of getting out, if you haven't already. Or if you're able to. I know some of us are stuck because, family or children, things of that nature that has got you rooted down there. But for those of you with the ability to leave or have no roots, permanent roots placed down anywhere, or just lacking something like a skill, a specialization that allows you to work remote, I highly implore you to invest in yourself. It will pay dividends later in your life. The thing that you need to understand about all this is that as a man, truly, you don't have to deal with any of this. I know a lot of guys prefer to go, quote, their own way, but you don't have to isolate yourself in that nature when you can just travel overseas. Trust me, they have no other move. That is the checkmate to all of this madness. They always say, man, vote with your feet and vote with your wallet. It's how you punish the system for neglecting you. And it is the most effective one. And it's a move they can't stop. Short of banning bachelors from leaving a country or instituting a bachelor tax to dissuade you from leaving, they have no play here. That is the final, unanswerable move by removing yourself from the game and flourishing somewhere else. That just gets them all up in a huge tiff. Funny enough, huh? For the dusties they don't care about. They sure do watch what you're doing, where you're going, how you're enjoying yourself overseas, eh? We'll see you guys on the next one.